storm. The Conservative commentator, the Reverend Calvin Robinson, and the Conservatives Against Racism founder, Albie Amankona. So, Albie, why do you want to label Calvin a black conservative? He just feels he's a conservative, and he points out that actually he's got mixed heritage.
I'm mixed race too. If Calvin doesn't want to call himself as a black conservative, that's up to him. I think the visual markers are there. But I think on the more broader point about the actual disagreement that we have, it is about whether or not there is a need for a black conservative group in the party, and whether or not that is race-baiting identity politics. And I don't personally think it is. It is simply a group of like-minded conservatives coming together to start a new group to basically improve the Conservative Party, to come up with policies to help the Conservative Party serve different communities better. I think one of the things that we really want to do quite soon, of course, is kick Sadiq Khan out of the mayorship of London. And one of the things that we're going to need to do in order to do that is really appeal to the large ethnic minority population in London better. And that is something which the party needs to work on.
But Calvin Robinson, you say there's no need for this group at all. Why?
And it's getting personal now, because Albie just said the visual markers there. Which visual markers? I have brown skin. That doesn't make me black. I'm half black and half white. Half of my family is white, half of my family is black. To call me just solely black is quite racist, because it's saying because I have brown skin, it's the one-drop rule. You're disregarding half my heritage, half my family, half my lineage. I find that quite offensive from someone who's claiming to be anti-racist. So don't tell me the visual markers are there. And when I said in person to Albie that I'm not a black conservative, and when I said it online that I'm not a black conservative, I'm just a conservative, both times he said, you are, whether you like it or not. I'm sorry, you don't get to label me as black, because I'm not black. I'm mixed race, I'm biracial, I'm whatever you want to call it, person of colour, but I'm not black. I'm not solely black. I'm half black and half white. So please don't disregard that. But secondly, as a party, we don't need to splinter off into these groups, especially not racial groups. We don't need to say we've got a group of black conservatives there, Indian conservatives there, whatever other ethnic minority group of conservatives there. The whole idea of conservatism is that we represent the individual and the individual's rights to represent themselves. That is fundamental. We see everyone as a person, not as a blanket group. That's what the left do. That's what Labour do, to control us, to get into power. They say,
you didn't even
black
come
people
to the event.
have to vote for us.
Shall I tell you about the event?
I'm not going to go to an event.
Shall I tell you about the event?
Someone that says
Should I tell you about
black
the event?
Conservatives and tells me I have to go there because I'm black.
Well,
I saw the footage of the event, actually. I saw Steve Baker get on stage and say that footballers should take a knee.
You saw a 30-second clip.
No, I didn't interrupt you.
Would you like me to tell you about the event?
I didn't interrupt you.
OK, don't talk over each other. But, Albie, I just want to put something to you, because Calvin has made this point that actually some of this rhetoric, which the left seem to adopt, can actually be racist. And we've seen over the past 24 hours the hard left radio presenter James O'Brien be incredibly racist when he is talking about the heritage and the background and actually the mental health of our Home Secretary Suella Braverman, claiming that because she has a different background, she should have made a different decision when it came to stopping the boats across the English Channel. So aren't you just buying into this divisive left-wing rhetoric?
In the same week that Kwasi Kwarteng was told he's superficially black.
Yes, you finished.
I was asked the question and not you. So the point is, Dan, this rhetoric that we've heard from Rupert Hutt recently, and also more recently from James O'Brien, it is divisive, but that is not what any of the groups that Calvin insulted, the LGBT Conservatives, Women to Win, the Conservative Women's Organisation, which was founded in 1919, Conservatives Against Racism, or the 2022 group, which has recently been founded this year, are about. What these groups are about are individual Conservatives coming together to make campaign groups, to help us appeal to the different groups of voters that we need to win general elections.
Based on their skin colour?
No, based on a number of different
based on the issues that matter.
Based on a number
of... Skin colour is an unimportant issue.
People from Conservative Friends of India would say their Indian heritage matters to them.
People can't afford to heat their homes right now. What they need is help with the cost of living crisis. What they don't need to be is splintered into these groups.
That's not what it's about. These are campaign groups to help us win elections, Calvin. Would you like to see us return a Conservative majority in 2024? Yes or no?
But why
not if it's based on
why does it matter?
No.
Why does it matter if a member of the Conservative Party is gay or
It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. But members of the Conservative Party from particular communities in this country are better at speaking to those people in those communities who are on the fence. If we look at if we look at the red wall...
So are you better at speaking to me because of the colour of my skin? Is that
one of the things...
Because I don't find you better at speaking to me or putting across conservative issues to me than other people.
Calvin, I just don't think you like me talking to you at all, but that's absolutely fine.
I enjoy talking to you. Did I not buy you a bottle of wine yesterday?
Yes,
I have no problem talking with you. The problem I have is for you to label me by the colour of my skin and try to talk to me about my politics.
OK, finish your point.
We are trying to have a civilised debate, but you are really making this rather unpleasant.
I'm sorry, but sir, but you were interrupting me when I was talking.
Which is disappointing.
You were interrupting me first,
very disappointing.
So don't give me the high ground about being disappointed.
I'll take the high ground.
I am disappointed that you are being a racial grifter in a Conservative party that shouldn't have anything to do with this.
Which we are going to be using to help us win the next general election. I had people coming up to me at Conservative Party conference from these groups and saying, why has Calvin Robinson insulted some of the most influential and old groups in the Conservative Party, like the Conservative Women's Organisation? Why has he done that when he claims to believe in the Conservative Party?
Yes, why have you done that, Calvin?
Because we should not be splintering based on our immutable characteristics. There are things about ourselves we cannot control, therefore we shouldn't be proud or ashamed of them. Now, if there's a group set up that is in order to protect a group that is being disenfranchised or discriminated against, like the women's organisations were in 1919, before they had the equal right to vote, that makes sense. But nowadays, in a time when everyone has equal opportunities under the law, we don't need to be promoting different groups in different ways.